If you like the brand new fire starter Fuecoco, this video's for you. Let's take a look. We've got a ton of brand new Pokemon information today regarding Scarlet and Violet, including the Riddler putting out a handful of posts about Fuecoco, the fire type starter. Before we dive into that though, I want to let you guys know that Cerebi has reported on a new Baneful Fox Shoddy variant of the mask available now until May 31st on Mystery Gift. So if you're still playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, you can actually grab the new shiny Baneful Fox mask. Previously, you can get the non-shiny variant, but tying in with the new Hisuian Snow Shorts, they decided to release the shiny version. It is very possible this is actually the last event or distribution that Pokemon Legends Arceus has in general, so this might be a big deal. If you want to snag it, again, you have until May 31st to pick it up. Amy at Japan posts that the Pokemon Company has updated the playlist with Pokemon Presents videos. Perhaps they set the trailer or Pokemon Presents video as a scheduled post. Interesting, as you can see, they've updated a handful of different playlists on YouTube. Could this be a sign of something coming? We'll have to wait and see. We had reports indicating that there was going to be a Pokemon Direct, or a Nintendo Direct rather, on the 29th of this month. However, we know there's going to be a Xenoblade Direct on the 23rd, tomorrow, and some are speculating that this may actually even further points to the fact that we might get a Nintendo Direct, which could feature Pokemon information in it as soon as next week. So make sure you guys stay glued to the channel, keep those subscriptions going, make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss out, and I'll keep you guys posted if a Nintendo Direct does get announced for Pokemon or in general for Nintendo as a whole. I do anticipate that if they do drop a Nintendo Direct, that would have Pokemon information as well. So I mentioned that a lot of the focus today is going to be on Fuecoco because of the recent Chinese Riddler posts. The first thing we're going to look at is Pokesutami, one of our awesome community members who's actually taken the time to look at the Japanese name of Fuecoco, Hogeta, if I'm saying that correctly. Breaking that name down refers to its flame, but obviously there's two other visual connections here. A Hoge, which is small strands or tufts on its hair that stand out, and then Hoge is the name for a facial expression of either surprise, confusion, bewilderment, but in a stupid kind of way, it's often thought of as cute. So the reason why we're looking at this is because it ties directly into the different riddles that the Riddler is posting. So the first thing the Riddler comes out and says is, Fuecoco Final Stage Teaser 1. Bets are accepted now. Which do you choose? And he posts 4 different images of what Fuecoco could evolve into. Fuecoco is either going to evolve into a quadrupedal, kind of crocodile, presumably, right? It's going to stay kind of similar to how it is, where it's on its back 2 legs and kind of standing up straight. It's going to be humanoid, like number 3, almost like a monkey or a primate, or it's going to be like number 4, which is a snake. So I think the first thing here to me is it's probably not number 3. I think we could probably remove number 3. I think it's probably most likely 2 or 4. Now, we know that the Chinese Zodiac has played into part for the various fire starters. It's not an official thing, but it's like very heavily kind of pushed towards all the different starter Pokemon kind of fall into a Chinese Zodiac. There's an argument that Fuecoco doesn't. It's possible that it turns into a bit of a snake type evolution. If it did indeed do that, what would your thoughts be on that? Would you actually like it or dislike it? Let me know. Right now, the poll is actually majority number 2, which is very similar to what Fuecoco looks now, or number 4, both of them sitting above 35%. Very few people are actually voting the other options. I could see it standing on a quadrupedal, kind of like, it's able to stand on all 4s. Think of like a Venusaur type-esque Pokemon, but at the same time, we'll have to wait and see. I think there is a real chance that it could be a snake, though, when all is said and done, which may be really awesome, or it may not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Regardless of what Fuecoco is going to look for, just know that you can deck out your closet today with our amazing Team Shiny shirts, including the brand new starter Pokemon. Head over to teamshiny.com and pick up some of our amazing designs. We just dropped the brand new starters as well, and you guys can use code SUMMER to get 15% off your purchase if you pick up 3 t-shirts or more. So don't miss out on the deal. We got hoodies, we got hats, and much, much more. Head over to teamshiny.com and pick your favorite starter for Scarlet and Violet. The Riddler then goes on to say that here's my personal reaction to the 4 situations, of course, that we just talked about. Meh, which is in results to kind of the 4 legs. No brainer, which is saying, okay, if it were to look like that, that's obvious because that's what it looks like now. Nope, but a fetish, which is number 3, which is like kind of the, the humanoid version. And then last says meme, it being a snake. But the final result is always inclined to be meh. Don't read too much into this. He then goes on to say, anyway, you'll know on the 30th. We'll use Twitter to have some discussions and exchange ideas. And we'll have to wait and see because at the end of the day, we're going to find out in about a week. It is important to remember that on the website, as Daniel here points out on Twitter, that on the website, it is determined to be the Fire Croc Pokemon. So it's likely that it stays to be similar to a crocodile. Could there be some sort of a hybrid crocodile snake? Maybe. I think of Snivy as an example of a Pokemon that started off as kind of like, bipedal standing up and then turned more into a snake like Superior. So I think there's still options here. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll know in about a week. I think the Riddler is going to give us the answers to all of these things. Let me know your gut feeling. From there, he posts the teaser number 2 and says, which part do you think will be the main focus when it evolves? Circles the hair, the face, the patch on its belly, the body shape, or 5, he says others, but I can't choose it, so just answer with a reply. So, calling out some important features here. The hair, the face, the little patch on its belly, and of course the body shape. And on the poll right now, it seems as though the winning feature is definitely the face, with its body shape being kind of the second runner-up there, both very close at about 30% in terms of what people are thinking. To me, my thought is I think the face is going to be really important. It's very clear to me that it's almost like a skull, right? And I think that's going to be a big key. But the reason why I brought up the translation earlier from Poke Sutami is because its name almost potentially mentions its hair. So something to make note of. Could that hair grow? That little almost like peppercore or whatever. Could that grow and become like long hair or something? I don't know. But I think it's worth noting as well. And last but not least, the Riddler comes out and says, final teaser, what kind of expression will Fuecoco always have on its face? A poker face, a dumb face, a tough face, or an angel face? And I think a lot of people are expecting the angel face to not be the case based on what we've seen so far. Could have a tough face, could have a dumb face, could have a poker face. My thought is if it does indeed evolve into a fire and ghost typing, which is what the speculations and the rumors have really pointed towards, fire and ghost, that's what the Riddler themselves is pointing towards, fire and ghost. I feel like the poker face could make the most sense. It has a skull on its face, so you can't see its facial expressions, and maybe one of the attacks, the skull gets lifted up or something, and it can do something different and have a different kind of face. So, to me, poker face is a very, distinct term to put in this poll. So if I had to put money on it, I would say poker face. I think that skull is going to be the main feature, not the hair, although the hair could be a feature. I think the skull, I think the poker face. I feel like the snake, but most likely probably number 2 with it standing on its back legs are the most likely situations for Fuecoco and what its evolution is going to be. But again, on the 30th of the month, the Riddler is going to give us the information and we'll find out exactly what's going on there. The last thing I want to do is a follow-up from yesterday's video. So people kind of dove into the bugs and how many bug type lines there are going to be. And it seems as though there's still some discrepancy about how many lines there are, but the consensus now is it's either 3 or 4, not 4 or 5. But even so, 3 or 4 new bug type Pokemon lines could be very, very cool. And I love the discussion you guys had in the comment section below in the last video. So thank you to everyone who did that. Be sure to hit that like button down below if you guys enjoy this video, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss out on our epic coverage, including the update on if and when we are getting a Nintendo Direct. You don't want to miss it. Let me know your thoughts on Fuecoco, and don't forget to check out Team Shoddy. Head over to teamshoddy.com, pick up some sweet merch, including the brand new starters and much, much more. Use code SUMMER to save some money, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.